I think some devotees are coming, right? To site.
Yeah, I think they'll come at 7:30.
7.
But after Kirtan, he said,
Kirtan के बाद
after,
so 7:30, right?
no, whenever it starts.
Okay.
And it's okay even after class.
Class. Okay. Uh, uh, uh,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Yes. Handing over to you. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरो वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजाताः सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेव श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्ता राधाकान्ता नमोस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चना गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्ता स्वामिनिधि नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे प्रणमामि प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्कायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम्।
So thank you for the opportunity to be here. Hare Krishna, everyone. Um, Yugal Kishore Prabhu has suggested that I should go to all the Bhakti Vrikshas that are happening in our congregation and share um, some points. First and the foremost, we want to thank this Shaman Krishna Prabhu for wonderfully serving the community and leading this Bhakti Vriksha so wonderfully, inspiring all of us, inspiring the devotees to do wonderful services that you all are doing already. So thanking each and every one of you on behalf of our temple. Yogeshwar Prabhu cannot, he doesn't have the time and the luxury to go and express thanks to each Bhakti Vriksha. So I'm trying to serve in some small capacity. So wanted to just share that. Thank you all for your services. Really, um, it is invaluable, and each one of you are really serving Ramakrishna so many ways that it's difficult for me to put into words, but we are very grateful. We are very thankful. There are two things that immediate attention that we need some assistance. Your prayers. First one is the carport, that area usually we serve prasadam during our festivals. We want to finish that up to make it in a, because we don't have a separate DT kitchen. So current gift shop will move to that, and there will be a showroom, and there will be a main entrance to the temple. I hope you know what I'm talking about, right? There is a roof right now, and the area is open. The open area. We want to finish that, and to serve like every festival or on a good summer day, we do not have like enough space. So Yugal Kishore Prabhuji also saying that we are looking for starting another center, few like around Canton or between Canton and Ann Arbor or some other places. We are looking into it. So we need help with that also. We need some help and prayers. So we were discussing. We don't have the numbers yet, but my suggestion is that each one of us, one family knows minimum 10 families outside of ISKCON, right? So my request is that we approach those and invite them for a Sunday feast, invite them for some connection to have you know eat at Govinda's or Saturday Sunday, some connection, and then we have this EFT, electronic fund transfer. We are very grateful for all of your services. Each one of you are doing according to your capacity, and we are very thankful for that. But my request was that we reach out to these families that we know and request them $10 a month. You know, like $10, $20 a month. If we, let's say, 10 families that we approach, maybe half of them they will come take darshan. Somehow they get connected. And I was very reluctant to ask any Lakshmi from anyone, but Rajvilas Prabhu from TOVP, he said a very nice thing that we are actually giving them the opportunity to connect to Krishna, to give something to Krishna, to start their bhakti account. Some way, shape, or form, they are connected with Krishna. And Krishna is very, very, you know, uh, merciful, and he never forgets anyone who does any service. So, smallest of the service will take them a long way. I know it is challenging for us to ask for Lakshmi, but you are not asking for yourself. You are asking for Krishna. So we have some EFT forms. Prabhuji, our Sandeep Prabhu will pass them around. please take them. We'll send you more copies if you need electronic copies also. But try to have the conversation with the families or people that you know, that you feel have some inclination towards spirituality, some understanding about they appreciate our Vedic culture. They have come to the temple, or do you want them to come to the temple? This is a good way of connecting them. We are end of the year, so they might be inclined to, for taking the tax advantage. People are looking to donate, looking to see some characters and stuff like that. So that is my humble request, and that was the main reason why I was here. And thank you again, Roji, for giving us the opportunity and sharing the idea with all the devotees. If there is any suggestion, any question that I can answer, any suggestions you want me to take, anything that I can be of service, please let me know. Thank you so much, Harish.
कृष्ण कुमार प्रभु की जय। प्रभु आपका नाम भूल गया। संदीप प्रभु की जय। I thought he's initiated. That's why I was double checking, making sure कि soon. Krishna Kumar Prabhu is a very, very glorious devotee and a strong pillar of his conformental hills. Source of all auspicious. Wherever he goes, I'm like, oh, today the Bhakti is very auspicious. Krishna Kumar Prabhu with us. And he's very dear to all of our hearts. And it's actually a very humbling service to go and ask devotees. But then that's what our spiritual masters teach is whatever is required to serve Krishna, they're willing to do. So, all glories to both of you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're at your feet. So now, shall we discuss?
Yeah. Thank you. I might have to leave early because, but thank you again for everything.
As long as you say that much auspiciousness. Of inauspicious.
Correct.
कहीं पुरुष विराजाते करे न शयन कारणाभिषायी नामा jagat karan. That original personality of Godhead named Shankarshana first lie down in the river Viraja, which serves as a border between the material and spiritual world, as Karana Bhishai Vishnu is the original cause of the material creation. So now, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this is Chaitanya Siksha to Sanatana Goswami. And now, the most difficult part of the Siksha is over, which we are struggling for past many months. And we are like, let's keep going, keep going, keep going. The different incarnations and those complex. So now the Lord is describing to Sanatana Goswami about how this material universes are created. This is another technical discussion, but very interesting discussion. So what is river Viraja? River Viraja. Everyone has heard about river Viraja. What is river Viraja? It's ocean. If you cross over the ocean, you enter Vaikuntha. This side of the ocean, we are in Farmington Hill Station. But you are all also in spiritual world. This is transcendental. But this is Viraja. It's a ocean. And one side of the ocean is material existence, another side of the ocean is spiritual existence. Vaikuntha planet.
The Viraja Archangel Ocean is the border between the spiritual and the material world. The material energy is situated on one shore of that ocean, and it cannot enter onto the other shore. which is the spiritual.
Two shores of this river, material and spiritual world.
Well, there is a lot of passion, a lot of courage, Nare. There are Nar is there adulterated one. The influence of time are Maya. Only the pure devotees of the Lord, who are worshipped both by demigods and by demons, decide in the spiritual world and arts.
So spiritual world, there is no mode of passion, no mode of goodness, no mixture of both. Nor is there adulterated goodness. Means it is only pure goodness. There is no influence of time or there is no Maya. No influence of time means keeps going on and on for eternity. Past tense goes on and on and on. No influence of time. खेलते रहो.
Today Goswami explained the theme of Srimad Bhagavatam in 4 verses, which had been explained to Lord Brahma at the end of the severe austerities he performed for months. At that time, Brahma was shown the spiritual world and its transcendental.
So this was the awakening of Brahma and Brahma saw Vaikuntha. That's why there is a chapter description of Vaikuntha when Brahma saw it. And how Brahma saw it, Brahma performed 1,000 celestial years of tapa. And then the Lord appeared to him. And the Lord gave him Bhagavatam in 4 verses. And after that, Brahma got an awakening and he could see Vaikuntha being in this material existence. So he's describing. And he's telling this to Narada Muni and their sons. And this conversation is going on how the Vaikuntha planet looks like. That's why Bhagavatam is like a window to Vaikuntha. Sitting here, who can understand Vaikuntha? What can we see and what can we understand? But to Brahma, we are able to see the vision. Okay, what's happening there now? See, you want to.
Maya has two functions. One is called Maya and the other is called Pradhana. Maya refers to the efficient cause and Pradhana refers to the ingredients that create the cosmic manifestation. Efficient cause includes thoughts, desires, judgment, plans, etc.
What are the two functions of Maya?
Maya,
One is Maya and one is Pradhan. So what is Maya and what is Pradhan? Maya is the efficient cause and Pradhan is the ingredient. So what are the ingredients? Panch Mahabhutas, then mind, intelligence, false ego. They all come from Pradhan. Pradhan get agitated and all these things are created. Another function of Maya is Maya, which is the desires are originated by Maya, the plans, um, the thoughts. Why? Because they are influenced by the three modes. So Maya's subtle form and Maya's gross form. So what is the body made up of? And what does Lord Krishna says? What is the body made up of in Bhagavad Gita? Maya. Where does he say? Yes. Uh, you know the whole verse? So Krishna says the body is a machine which is made up of Maya. So which aspect of Maya the body is made up of? The elements that are coming from Pradhan. So this body is also Maya. And the thoughts that are coming in the mind, that is also Maya. So one is the efficient cause. Efficient cause is the subtlety of Maya. And then there is a gross aspect of Maya. And Krishna calls this gross aspect as inferior uh, separated energy. All right, clear? Okay.
when the Supreme Personality of Godhead glances over the material energy, she becomes agitated. At that time, the Lord injects the original semen of the living entities.
So what does the Lord do? There is Maya in form of Pradhan. Pradhan is the um, sum total or aggregate or all the element in a crude form. That's like Pradhan. So the Lord is there, and then the Lord glances over the Pradhan. And what happens when he glances over the Pradhan? He injects souls into matter. Prabhupada says, um, how many children can a mother give birth to at a time? Twins or triple are there sometimes. But how many living entities can the Lord give birth to at a time? Like unlimited.
सर्वयोनिषु कौन्तेय मूर्तया सम्भवान्त्यः तत्सं ब्रह्म महद्योनिर् अहं बीज प्रदापिता. It should be understood that all species of life, O son of Kunti, are made possible by birth in this material nature, and that I am the seed-giving father.
So what is Mahaprabhu explaining here is described in Srimad Bhagavatam, and just as Lord Krishna describes that I am the father and I impregnate um, uh, it, are made possible by birth in the material nature. So I impregnate the material nature, and I am the seed giving father, and I impregnate the material nature, and that's how all the living entities take birth. Clear? And how he impregnates? Through the glance.
All material elements, as well as the spiritual sparks, individual souls, are emanating from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is confirmed by the Vedanta Sutra 1.1 Janma Janmagi Asya Yata.
Janmadhyasayata means this is actually the first Brahma Sutra also. The Brahma Sutra. Vedanta Sutra, sorry. It's also called Brahma Sutra. The first Brahma Sutra, Janmadhyasayata, means he is the source of everything. Source of matter and source of spirit. Everything emanates from him. Aham Sarvasya Prabhu. This is another verse Lord Krishna says, everything emanates from. And here he's telling, Lord Chaitanya is telling to Sanatana Goswami, and when the Lord glances, then all the living entities are injected into Pradhan. Just like the example is when a father gives the seed to the mother, then the body of the mother becomes agitated. Till that time, the body is normal. Body becomes agitated of the mother. And then there is a reaction that begins. And then slowly, a body is formed in the womb of a mother. So likewise, this happens when the father puts the soul, injects the semen, puts the soul. So likewise, when the Lord puts the semen or the souls, then Pradhan becomes agitated. Till that time, Pradhan is dormant. And when that's agitated, then all the creation starts. Till that time, the Pradhan is dormant.
To impregnate the seeds of the living entity, the Lord Himself does not directly touch the material energy, but by His specific functional expansion, He touches the material energy, and thus the living entities who are His parts and parcels are impregnated into material energy.
So the Lord does not directly touch the material energy, but he want to put the seed of all living entities into Pradhan. So he does that by his specific functional expansion. And who is that specific functional expansion? Through Shiva. So he that glass is Shiva, na, we say. So he does not directly contact Pradhan. So he injects, and when he comes, the moment he comes in contact with the material nature, then this is Shiva and Parvati. Pradhan refers to Parvati and Lord Shiva. That's how he injects. And that's why Prabhupada says, because all the living entities are coming through the medium of Lord Shiva and Parvati. That's why Shiva and Parvati are also called the father and mother of the universe. But ultimately, it's coming from the Lord Himself, because Lord does not directly contact them. That's the origin of Shiva.
The word Prakriti, Parthana, refers to the Lord's glancing over material nature and placing the living entity in contact with dull matter. The glancing is performed by Mahavishnu,
स ऐक्षता लोकम प्रजाति ऐतरेय उपनिषद 1.
So see, the I was thinking it's so nice that it's so wonderful that Srila Prabhupada is telling the same principle, but then how the glance of Mahavishnu impregnates the living entity, and Srila Prabhupada is quoting the Upanishad, Aitareya Upanishad, how this is mentioned in this Upanishad also. How this mentioned in Bhagavatam, how this mentioned in Chaitanya, how this mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, and how in Upanishad, and how in Puranas. So from various sources, Prabhupada is like, that's how the philosophy becomes like complete, solidified. Some people say, I don't believe in this, and here is an Aitareya Upanishad that it says, and how the when the Lord glances, that's how the living entity are impregnated. Till that time, there is no birth of living entities. He is the actual father.
The Supreme Lord does not need sexual intercourse to impregnate. The impregnation is performed simply by his gland.
And Prabhupada quotes this. Anybody knows this verse? You must know. It says that the Lord can perform any function of any senses any through any sense organ can act through um, any function of any senses can act through any sense. Yeah. Interchangeable. So initially I was thinking, when we had Giriraj, so I was thinking, where is Giriraj eyes? And where is Giriraj? What is the natural face of Giriraj in that Sheila? So I asked Sagar Maharaj. Maharaj said, this is seems like the natural face. And then when I was driving, so I was thinking actually anywhere Giriraj eyes can be there. Because no matter you can see from the back, it's our conditioning that we think where he sees from. This makes sense because this is Giriraj, this Krishna Tattva. So he can do any function from anywhere. You put his eyes on the back and he will see from the back. And this we see even in Lord Ramchandra when he gave birth to Love and Kush. There is no physical contact. So whatever is happening at the level of Mahavishnu, same thing happening in the Lord's various incarnations also. It's just the child is same thing with Krishna and Rukmini and all the queens. The Lord can do anything and this is omnipotency of the Lord. So see everything is like connected, no matter which part you see, it's all connected. It's all speak the same thing. Who was reading?
The, the impregnation of material nature by the Father, Lord Shiva, is wonderful because at one time innumerable living entities are conceived. O Bhago Shivasa Vichneya Chana Chanayaya Kalpate. Veda Swatara Upanishad 5.9. These living entities are very, very small.
So before Prabhupada quote Aitareya Upanishad, and now Prabhupada is quoting Shvetashvatara Upanishad and saying how the Lord Shiva, Lord Vishnu, through the medium of Lord Shiva, impregnates. And it says Bhago Jiva means many jivas are at once impregnated. So see how everything speaks the same thing. That how the living entity is born is the Lord impregnates. And these living entities are how big? Very, very small.
And beyond memory, after hesitating the material with the three qualities, the Supreme Personality of Godhead placed the sense of innumerable living in the womb of that material nature. Thus, material nature gave birth to the total material energy known as the Hiranmaya Mahatattva, the original symbolic representation of the cosmic mind. Lord Kapila is explained to his mother the relationship between the Supreme Personality of Godhead and material nature. He is informing her
how the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the original cause of the living entity who are conditioned by material.
So this is also very nice that what we just read before was a verse from Brahma to Narada, and this verse is Lord Kapila to Devahuti. So we see in different sections, not only in different Upanishads, in different section of Bhagavatam, same principle. That the Lord glands the living entity were injected into Mother Nature. Same thing was explained by Lord Kapila, same thing to Brahma to Narada, and same thing is mentioned in Aitreya Upanishad and Shvetashvatara Upanishad, and same thing in Bhagavad Gita. Same thing in Bhagavatam and same thing in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So see how it's like you can't, like, any wrong conception you bring, you can't justify. That's like foolproof. And what is Mahatattva here? What is Mahatattva? Hiranmaya means it's golden actually. Mahatattva is golden complexion. So what is Mahatattva? How does it come?
So original symbolic.
And where does it come from? Huh? Three modes come from Mahatattva? Or from Mahatattva comes three modes? Pradhan is Mahatattva. So Mahatattva comes from Pradhan. Mahatattva comes from Pradhan. So Pradhan is dormant. The moment the Lord impregnates Pradhan with living entity, then Vikar, the transformation takes place. And the first transformation that comes is Hiranmaya Mahatattva. And then from there comes three modes and egos, and that's how creation takes place. Good? Done. Thank you so much. सॉरी थोड़ा प्रसाद तो लेके नहीं गए ओके जब तक प्रसाद पैक हो रहा है तब तक 2 मिनट आप और बैठ जाओ तो आ रहा है प्रसाद हमें पहले खड़ा हो जाना चाहिए था प्रसाद पैक करने हु इज नेक्स्ट
The due course of time, the personality of Godhead,
महावैकुंठनाथ
of the agency of conscious of his personal self, Mahavishnu, is the seed of the living in the womb of the human.
so again another verse from Bhagavatam telling the same instance. And who is Mahavaikuntanath? Narayan where? In spiritual world. He expands into Mahavishnu. And Mahavishnu glances. And that's how the living entity are transferred into matter. When the living entities are there, they are in there is a word sushupshu, which is basically sleeping condition, unconscious state, like dormant state. And then when they are transferred, still dormant, till the living entity gets a body in the material existence, the states are dormant. It's like the Lord is transferring the jivas from here and there, entering, and just like deep sleep. How many of us know we are conscious when we are in deep sleep? Nobody is conscious. During dreaming, we may still be conscious, but deep sleep, no conscious. Like 8 hours pass, 7 hours, 6 hours, no conscious. Likewise, for millions of years, the jiva is like in a like a dead state. Consciousness is like dormant. And then that time the jivas are transferred into the womb and to Pradhan, all this creation is happening, universes form, and then when the living entity comes back, then he is reminded by Paramatma in the heart. You wanted gulab jamun? Yeah, gulab jamun. And then he started working for gulab jamun. Or whatever desires come back, and then he started working on that till the time, long time. Like, And same thing happens even with pure devotees, even Narad Muni. It is mentioned when when the night comes, we were hearing when the night comes, then Narad Muni enters into, Narad Muni doesn't travel anymore. क्योंकि किसको प्रचार करेंगे? सब लोग तो सो गए ना deeply. तो किसको प्रचार? Narad Muni also enters and he is like absorbed in the Lord, and that's, and then occasion takes place, then he comes back and then he starts traveling and he starts giving Krishna to everyone.
Arise with three types of because the original sources from which all comes are controlling deeply, conscious and material and the Mahatattva is situated in the heart or the Chitta. The cumulative duty of the Mahatattva is beyond us. The Mahatattva is transformed into egotism. Like Parishma, egotism is Satvika Ahankara, which is manifested in the 11th temple. The mind whose predominating duty is Haridas, who such jasa or egotism is passion, predominant Rajasa Aham, from which are manifested the active knowledge acquiring senses, along with the intelligence whose predominating deities Lord Pradyumna and Tamas, Tamas or egotism is ignorance, from which sound vibration, Dasa Sammata, expand. From sound vibration, the sky, Akash, is manifested, and then the senses, beginning with the sense of hearing, are also manifested. Of these three types of egotism, Lord Sankarshana is the predominating.
So how many of you could understand this? This is actually very simple, but see how in depth Prabhupada has written so dense in one paragraph. That shows the Prabhupada's clarity actually. In one paragraph, he wrote like so much, like flowing from his transcendental consciousness and his writing. So should I explain? And then, so there is um, from Pradhan comes Mahatattva. From Mahatattva comes three kinds of egotism, false ego. And there is false ego in mode of goodness, false ego in mode of passion, false ego in mode of ignorance. False ego in mode of goodness is called Vaikarika. False ego in mode of passion is called Taijasa. And false ego in mode of ignorance is called Tamasa. So from false ego in mode of goodness, which is Vaikarika, comes mind. And the controlling deity for the mind is Aniruddha. From false ego in mode of passion comes the senses and the intelligence. And the controlling deity for senses and intelligence is Pradyumna. And from false ego in mode of ignorance comes the material elements. And the controlling deity for the material element is Sankarsana is a predominant deity for the entire false ego. So and Vasudev is the controlling deity for Mahatattva. So there is Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Anirudh, Vasudevna. So Vasudev is a controlling deity for Mahatattva. Pradyumna is a controlling deity for intelligence and the senses. Pradyumna means like material desires, lust. That's where Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita, third chapter, that the senses and intelligence, lust lies there. So the controlling deity of this is Pradyumna. Then controlling deity for mind is Aniruddha. So Aniruddha, Pradyumna, Vasudev, and Sankarshan. Sankarshan is the third and all of them. Sankarshan is overall in charge of the false ego. And see, Prabhupada, in this two small paragraph, Prabhupada has quoted 4 Bhagavatam verses. And where is the Mahatattva situated? Huh? Is Mahatattva situated in the body also? No, is not in the body. Not. See the first Mahatattva is situated within the heart or Chitta, and the predominant deity of Mahatattva is Lord Vasudeva. You see, there are 24 material elements, and you know what are those 24 material elements? You know the 24 material elements, Shankya. What are those? We were having some uh, renovation in the temple, so I have dust allergy. So today the dust was all over, but I'm breaking some ground, so that's why I immediately got allergy. So, what are 24 material elements? Five gross senses, then
Elements.
five gross elements, Panch Mahabhutas, then three subtle units, three subtle. Mind, judgment, false ego, earth, water, fire. So these are eight. And then which senses? What are the working senses? Hands, legs, genitals, anus, and mouth. Mouth. What are the five? Then other is five.
Yes.
Knowledge acquiring senses, Gyanendriyas. What are those? The five working senses, five knowledge acquiring senses, five Panch Mahabhutas, three those. And what are the five remaining? What are those? Touch, form, gandha, टेस्ट, स्पर्शा नहीं, वो क्या बोलते हैं?
रुचि।
रुचि बोलते हैं टेस्ट को। अच्छा, कुछ और याद है? हाँ साउंड। हाँ तो they are 23, and what is the 24th? महातत्व। माइंड तो आ गया ना, 5 ग्रॉस and 3 सट। The 24th element is Mahatattva. Time is governing us, but the body is not made up of time. But the time is destroying the body. I mean, so three modes, time, these are the forces that influence us. These are the forces that influence us. But the body is not made up of those things. The body is made up of these 24 elements, and the body is influenced by these external forces, which is these gunas, rajagun, tamagun, satogun, and time. Like controlled by these. प्रसाद प्रभु जी, अच्छा बैठ किया नाम। थैंक यू थैंक यू फॉर कमिंग। हरे कृष्ण। So we go to next one. Clear, right? Pradhan.
So then uh, like when the winds goes into the body of Vishnu. After that, again, this glancing. Goes back into that same unexisted.
So when the soul leaves, then it's like dead matter. That's Pradhan.
That time souls are in the body.
When soul enters, then creation takes place. When the soul leaves, then, like how Bhagavatam says, what is created from egotism in mode of ignorance? Sky से पहले, from sound comes sky. हमने पहले एक बार चर्चा किया था ना, from subtle comes gross, and then from sky comes. I'm not going to ask the whole sheet, just one more, two more. From sky comes touch. From touch comes air. From subtle comes gross. So from sound comes sky, which is ether. And from ether comes touch. From touch comes air. From air comes from air comes uh, and from form comes fire. Fire comes taste. From taste comes water. From water comes uh, from smell comes. So that's how this is. So this is like how the reaction begins, and exactly opposite happens when the winding up, one by one by one by one. Three more unmanifest, and everything is like just Pradhan remaining, and all the living entities are there. And then the Lord is, and then again he exhales. Then again this whole creation begins. All right.
Mahatattva is what and all.
Mahatattva is Pradhan plus the Jivas. It's like, can we see Pradhan? Can we see Mahatattva? It's golden color, but we cannot see it. It's golden color, but we cannot see it. If Mahatattva comes here, we cannot see it. Why? Because subtle.
Still there.
In the heart, Mahatattva is. It's in the region of the heart. Because we see everything goes earth, earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, false ego. And three more are subtler. And subtler than that is Mahatattva. So Mahatattva we cannot, gross senses cannot perceive Mahatattva. Gross senses can only perceive up to what gross one can perceive. Now, for example, Krishna. Krishna is which color? Blue. But can we see him if he comes in front of us? If he gives us divine eyes, then yes. Otherwise, no. Why? Because his color is not material. So we cannot see. Likewise, Mahatattva is golden, but we cannot see. Everything is subtle. So, the whole spiritual world is subtle. Even if you go there, spiritual will be in front of you, and we're like, where is spiritual? You cannot see it. If you happen to go in this world, you cannot see it. This happens for eternity. Um, Breath of Karnadak wish. One Brahma's life. That is one breath. Cycle ends. And then cycle starts. And then cycle ends. That's why it is said that the material nature is also eternal. Eternal, always existing. But it manifests and unmanifests, manifests, unmanifests, manifests, unmanifests.
Yes, all the this comes from all the lotus.
Yes.
But when we put it down, it just comes from the
Before the universe are created, first glancing happens.
then the
First he desires. Now it's time for living entities to give them a chance to go back to God. And then he's like, it needs some creation. So then he first transfers the living entity. Then Mahatattva is created. Then egotism is created. And all these elements are created. And with all these things, the Lord creates the universes. The universes are made up of all these things. If you see the layer of universes is earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, that's a layer. So first those element needs to exist in order for universe to exist. Because universe is gross. And these things are not yet created. So these things happen at the end. And when the universe is created, and the Lord waits for another 1000 years. Then he is like, I need to do something now. Then he again enters in the universe. When he enters in the universe, he feels like सब कुछ pitch dark है. Then he's like, there is no place to stay. And the sage said, sir, मेरे ऊपर आराम से विश्राम करिए यहाँ पे. Then he does vishram. Then he's like, there is nothing exists, just pitch dark. And then from his sweat, he filled the universe with half of the water. Then he lies there. And then he creates the navel and Brahma. And within the navel, he creates all the 14 planetary systems. And then he gives the desire to Brahma to populate. And Brahma performs tapasya. When Narayan comes, he shakes the hand with Brahma. Then he says, please give me, there is a chapter, Brahma prays for creative potency. And the Lord said, it is my desire. May you be successful. And then
Brahma is really material father, but the soul is coming from him.
even the material elements the Lord creates. Brahma is like an engineer. Like they don't create any elements, but they do some construction and build the houses. Well, everything is given to them from Home Depot.
The truth is, which soul goes to which world? The Brahmas.
No, they are uh, um, the material nature designs in such a way that the soul which is attracted to a particular consciousness of the living entity. Brahma does not like individually pick the soul, and the whole nature which is working under Lord's direction, it's programmed or is designed in such a way that a particular soul based on past desires and the desire of parents and everything matches. And like when Brahma is creating, then Brahma desires, I want to create a pure devotee. Then comes four Kumar. They reject Brahma. Then he desires, I don't want pure devotees. I want just devotees who can fulfill my desire. Then come saints. Then he desires, I want a saint who can guide all these saints, who is a pure devotee. I don't want him to procreate, but he should give them guidance, otherwise they will be lost. And then he creates Narada. Narada is saint of all the saints. So in that way, Brahma is empowered to create whatever he desires. That's Brahma's power. Just like whatever is our consciousness, the child is created. Na? So whatever is Brahma's consciousness, that child is created. But we are given an instance during conception. That's it, decided. Brahma can create whenever he likes, whatever he desires, he just creates. So Brahma, that's creator. We have creating potency. Brahma is a creator. We also have creative potency, but our creative potency is very temporary or very like small compared to Brahma's creative potency. Are?
Is that Virat Purusha is creating Purusha or
You're right. He's actually Garbhodaksha.
in second canto they mentioned after Vishnu entered inside that it was
Yes.
that is not the glance or it is something.
No, when the Lord enters into the universe and he lies there, Garbhodaksha Vishnu, then from him expands uh, universal. So he is actually expansion of Garbhodaksha Vishnu. So we'll do one more. It's 8:35 so quick. लगा कि अभी शुरू ही हुआ यार अभी तो. You're starting to enter. Okay. Who was supposed to read? We'll read one circle. Is Karnadaksha Vishnu, Mahavishnu, original creator. This is clear, right? Some people good? No. First, the elements are created. Then, with the help of those elements, universe is created. Because universe is made up, the covering of the universe is gross. Earth, water, fire, air. force.
That is it's universe.
Ah,
Each one is a that one is
Mahavishnu, each pore, there is a seed. And with that seed, he uses the material elements, and from that, he creates the universe. And Garbhodakshaya Vishnu doesn't exist right now. But earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, false ego, Mahatattva, Pradhan, or they all exist. And using all that through the seed form, yes. And then he's lying there. And he thinks like, let's me do the next thing. Then he enters into each egg. It's dark. And he's like, imagine you have to populate, you have the living entities, you have all this elements, and you enter a house and you want to populate this house. And then Mahavishnu is like, now where do I begin? All right. Let me have some instrument who I will empower to create. Lord personally doesn't do much now. He just empowers somebody. So he creates Brahma and he says, ha, tum karo kaam. And then he goes and lies down. And then Brahma does the creation. He empowers Brahma and Brahma creates. But it is the desire of the Lord. It is said everything happens by the Ichha Shakti of the Lord. Clear? Not clear? Okay, then ask question. Ask me.
equal to function. So the line action
They are lying in the exhalation of the Lord. The example given is sun rays. When in a sun ray, there are particles of dust. If you see sun coming, you will see they are lying in the particle of dust. So, like when the Lord exhales, within that air, all the universes are lying. Just like the dust particles in the sun ray. So they lie in that, they float in that air. जैसे हवा में हवाई जहाज उड़ता है. Likewise, they float in the air which is coming from the exhalation of the
comes from force.
exhalation. And when the Lord inhales, then they're all sucked in. When he exhales, they all go out. He can do it. And this is also Lord Krishna says, na, all the planets are held um, by the string. That string is me. By my power, all the planets are held in place. Whatever I'm speaking is next few verses. It's Mahaprabhu speaking this to Sanatana Goswami. How the universes are created and all the whole transition. How many of you have job tomorrow? Anybody off tomorrow? Nobody's off tomorrow. You're off tomorrow. So we both can continue discussion. I think we'll end here. Respecting the time, it's 8:40. ग्रंथ श्रीमद श्री चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधु पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो। Today seems like we just began and we are ending. ऐसा कुछ feel आ रहा है. ये सब feel आ रहा है. नहीं, समय कम था प्रभु. ऐसा assumption में कोई उसमें होती. Who is thinking?
Hey, kids.
कैसे हो सर?
Namaste,
Still look the same. Years are passing by. We'll talk after. Who is singing? Are you the chosen? Like I don't know.
Namaste, Namaste, Maya.
The tea. We'll end on soon. Don't pronounce. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah.